So listen to what Job did as a man for his household. Verse 5. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sinned and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, It may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. What did he do? He stood in the gap for his family, so to speak. He made a sacrifice for his family for even their thoughts. See, this was an example of a man who was the true spiritual leader of his household. Okay? He was the spiritual leader of his household. Let's go to Joshua. He stood in the gap for his family. He prayed for his family. Moses said, hey, it is on us to teach our sons and their sons' sons, so they would know about the true and living God. And see, one thing, I already spoke about consequence. When you don't do the right thing as a man, as the spiritual leader of your household, there is consequence. Now look at this in Joshua the 7th chapter, in verse 1. But the children of Israel committed a trespass in the accursed thing, for Achan the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah of the tribe of Judah, took up the accursed thing, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. Okay, so what this guy did in Israel's battle against Ai, one of the Israelites, Achan, he took something that he should not have taken. The Lord had commanded not to take anything, and he took it. Okay, so immediately we're going to see the consequences of this. Verse 10. Because this little Ai, Israel attacked him. At first they had been prosperous, but when this sin was committed, hey, Israel was defeated in this battle. And Joshua rent his clothes and prayed to the Lord. And listen to what the Lord said to him. This is Joshua 7 and 10. It reads, And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel has sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. Okay, so Joshua then went forth trying to find out where it was located. And he eventually came to this Achan, who had taken the stuff. Let's read it. Verse 19. It reads, And Joshua said unto Achan, My son, I pray thee. My son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him. And tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, Indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonian garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them, and took them. And behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. Okay, so Joshua, to make sure this was the case, he sent messengers to find out if that was the case, and they confirmed that he did have the stuff. Now listen to what happened to not just this man, but to his family. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua, and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. And Joshua and all Israel with them took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had. And they brought them unto the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. See, brothers and sisters, what you do as a man, what you do as a husband, as a father, as a head of your household, it affects the rest of the family. See, even in the natural realm, when you leave your family to fend for themselves, it affects them economically. It affects their child to have to grow without a father. I'm going to read you something. Let me read you some statistics here. This is from the Acton Institute, an article entitled Devaluing the Black Family. It says 43% of black pregnancies end in abortion. That's only almost 50% of black children being killed. Now, much of this is because these children are born out of wedlock. They don't have fathers there. And almost 50% are being destroyed. I'm going to read something else to you. Marriage reduces the odds of poverty for women and children by 70%. See, this again, this is on the natural realm. See, if you're there for your family, it's more than likely that they won't be in poverty. It reduces those odds. 80% of children in poverty are from broken and or never married families. Children from single parent homes are twice as likely to commit crime than children from families with resident fathers. 70% of juveniles in state reform institutions are from single parent homes. There are strong inverse relationships between incidents of out of wedlock births and education attainment. Again, on the natural realm, there are ramifications, there are repercussions for men not being there for their families. Okay? It's a natural thing. You leave your son to fend for himself. How is he going to learn how to be a man? After about the age of 12 or 13, his mother, he is not fearful of his mother. He's not fearful of his mother. He's almost bigger than his mother, if not by that time. And she is not a man. It takes a man to teach that man how to be a man. To teach them about true responsibility. To teach him about his role. See, but that's a repercussion of something that's going to happen to him because of what his father did. Now, even on the spiritual realm, on the spiritual level, if you are not being the spiritual leader of your household, all kind of immorality will be in your house if you are there. Let alone if you're not there. Because you have not taught your children and you have not instructed even your wife on how to serve the true and living God. Again, it is on the male to do this thing. It is in the male's corner. It is his responsibility to take care of his family, even spiritually. But let's move to Joshua 24, because Joshua said something when he was speaking to the children of Israel that we should take into account. He says in Joshua 24:14, "Now therefore fear the Lord, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood, and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord." See, it's really time for us to put away these falsehoods. And it starts with the man. That's the man's responsibility, to put away the false teachings, to put away the false religion that we have been accustomed to. You read about how basically women were led astray in the New Testament by these false ministers and teachers. Okay? You read even in the beginning how Eve was deceived. Adam wasn't deceived. But see, he didn't fulfill his responsibility. Men must fulfill the responsibility as men, as spiritual leaders. So he says, hey, put away these false gods. And then he goes on and says, "And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell." He says, "But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." See, this is the decision that Joshua made, and this is the decision that you must make as a man. Serve the Lord. Not just you, but you and your household. Again, once you come into some understanding, this is what you must do. And again, if you got some kids out there in the world that don't know their father, you need to go get them. You need to go get them. You need to try to the best of your ability to teach them in the way that they should go. Ephesians, the 5th chapter. Again, we read about this Christian order. Ephesians 5:22 reads, "Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord." So wives, now when it says this, it doesn't mean that a woman is supposed to be a man's doormat. But when it's all said and done, the man is the head.